Um, on the subject of riots, we've got a civil war raging in Britain. Of course, the British government wouldn't admit to that, even though 3,000 died during the Troubles. They would never admit to having a civil war in Northern Ireland. But what we've got in England and parts of Northern Ireland is civil war. And it's really causing some angst amongst us here in Scotland, because the media coverage has been totally wrong on this. I mean, the BBC has been describing the rioting in Greater Manchester as pro-British demonstrations. I'm thinking in particular of the journalist Philip Norton, who was on the keynote programme Bolton on Sunday. And he said that this rioting was a pro-British protest. Well, excuse me, Philip, sweetie, we in Scotland are not involved in any fighting. Neither is anyone in Wales. All the trouble is breaking out in England and in Northern Ireland. So don't call it a pro-British. I mean, what the hell do you mean by pro-British? What is British about throwing missiles at the cops? What is British about ripping the hijab off the head of a Muslim woman? What is British about throwing smoke bombs, Molotov cocktails, setting fire to police stations and libraries? It's all been going on and kicking off over the border. It's been really quite serious. I would like to know, firstly, who is in control? Because Keir Starmer has given a press conference, and he's looked like a rabbit trapped in the headlights. So anyway, yes, getting back to the main question, who is in charge? I mean, it should be directed at Keir Starmer, but as I say, he's just standing there. It took him nearly a week before he decided, this rioting, it's getting out of hand a bit. I'd better call a Cobra meeting, which is what they do when the shit hits the fan in the UK. Not that it's happening in the UK. This is happening in Little England. Anyway, as I say, the question is, who is in charge? And the other question I'd like to ask is of the Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, who is a very articulate politician, very astute. She chaired a very powerful committee called the Home Office Select Committee, and she terrified loads of people with her line of questioning. I mean, she was very, very good. But for some reason, Yvette is struggling with the English language at the moment. She has been talking and condemning, quite rightly, the violence on the streets in England, but she hasn't called these race riots. She is incapable of using the word Islamophobia. I know it's a long word, which basically means racism, but what's going on there? You know, why can't she just use the word Islamophobia? You know, these people who are rioting are largely white people men in particular with big pot bellies. So this is my midweek crisis. I'd love to know what you think. It's not as bad as it looks on TV. Lizzie wasn't sure if we were going to have a show or not, because it looks as though the whole of the UK is on fire. It's not, but there has been trouble in some of the major cities in England. Two things to remember: these are not British riots, and these are certainly not pro-British marches, whatever the BBC wants you to believe. So that's the crisis over, and I'll see you all for the next crisis, barreling its way to us as I speak, no doubt. Bye.